hundreds of languages, multiple religions, one of the most diverse countries, rich history, deep traditions, yet racist. Welcome to India. So, let me just put some reports before I get into the topic or the main events that I want to specify. In an international survey taken, India ranks 17th in racism. 64% of people, when a survey was taken, says they have witnessed racism, which puts India in the third place in that survey. And when a survey about inclusiveness index was taken, India is ranked 117 out of 129. Okay, that's bad, right? Today I'm going to be specifying about two types of racism. There are a lot more in India. I'm going to talk about these two today. One is caste based and the other is religion based. Very fragile topics to get into, but hopefully I don't get an FIR or anything like that. So the first event we're going to be talking about took place on February of 2026 in Kumera village. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry. In Telangana during the Mallanna Jatra. So apparently a family coming from a community which is considered a backward caste was going to the temple to attend Mallanna Jatra something, and they were stopped at the entrance because they were from the backward caste and were asked to pay 100 rupees. I mean, it's not a big amount of money, but it still is to get into a temple which is usually free for others. Is religion being monopolized? Is God being monopolized? Does God require money to at least to make to so you could see him for the darshan? They were asked 100 rupees, and they questioned the temple organizers about it. They were like, you have to pay it, and they were started shouting caste based slurs and and started physically attacking them. The men were beaten, the women were dragged by their hair and beaten by rods. Apparently the sarpanch of that village is also included in this particular incident. I see. The sarpanch. Okay. The women were dragged by their hairs and beaten by rods. So a particular woman with a 2 months old baby, her husband was being beat. She placed the baby on the feet of the attackers and was begging them to stop hitting her husband. And guess what they did? One guy kicked the infant. Kicked. Seriously? The infant was immediately rushed to the hospital, but the baby died 3 days later due to the injuries. Okay, let's move on to the second. Oh God, I can't believe they kicked an infant, bro. 2 months old baby. What kind of a person do you have to be to do that? Okay, let's go into the second topic. This was during Holi. So the festival of colors. 11-year-old girl was playing Holi on her terrace. She threw a water balloon from the top of the terrace, trying to aim it at her father on the street currently. She missed. 11-year-old you can't blame him. But it wasn't even that harmful. It mist splashed some water onto a woman passing by who was from the Muslim community. What was a small misunderstanding turned into a heated argument. She went and called her relatives, but things calmed down because the family apologized and everything else that happened. And it's fine. But later in the night, when 26-year-old Tarun returned home, he was allegedly stopped in the street. Not allegedly, he was stopped in the street by a huge number of people, like 20 or something or some. I might be wrong, but I think that's what I read. He was beaten by sticks, rods, stones, bricks, etc. One report also says that a huge boulder or rock was thrown onto his chest. He was rushed to the hospital, but he died. So the whole color of festival, the festival of colors stained the road red, not by colors but by blood. See, my grammar might not be good, but the points I'm making are will be really good. I haven't made any points yet, but they will be good. Let's also talk about another incident which took place in January, I think. So, a person named Wakil Ahmad. I make notes, that's how serious I am. I am not even putting this much effort into my studies. That's how pissed off I am. Huh. He was a 70-year-old Wakil Ahmad. He had a shop. Apparently, Baba was on the name of the shop. Was in the name of the shop, and a group of Hindu activists went into the shop and kind of harassed him into removing it and changing it. Thankfully, this does not end in a death. A local bodybuilder apparently went to his rescue or something. So see, racism does not come from one end, it comes from many ends. I'm not blaming one particular community for it. Please don't take this the wrong way. There are a lot more incidents which have happened, which will happen if this stays this way. I feel as if, you know, we aren't being taught enough in schools about this particular issues. Yes, we get a lesson every year saying love each other. We shouldn't, hate one person because of their religion or caste or anything like that. But we, it's not being like thoroughly taught. It's like we have those lessons, we end up hating them because we have to study them for the exams, and we don't take them seriously. And also, politicians tend to uh, when they put out points, they like to mention people's personalities, like their religion, community, caste, etc., etc. But at one point it becomes too much. As much as it turns out into us versus them, which shouldn't happen actually. My grammar might not be good, it's not good, but you know, this shouldn't happen, especially in modern India. We are trying to achieve a lot of things, but see, these are the things that hold us back. Proper implementation of these topics need to be taught in schools, so that the next generation should uh, at least not be this bad. I'm really surprised कि it's not, these topics aren't being talked about more. And a 17-year-old like me who's gonna turn 18 this year has to bring these to light. Yes, you might have read about them. Yes, you might have seen them in a reel while you're scrolling. But have you done anything? you know, to actually make them public. You might have liked them, you might have sent them to your friends, but what else? I'm not asking you to, spread, go on the streets and rally and shit. Just teach your friends, teach your, I'm not doubting your friends or anything, but knowledge like this should be taught like its basic sense at this point. And I don't think this level of racism exists in major cities, but racism still exists. People die for trivial reasons, and it just pisses me off. When will we learn to love one another? I might not have hair left, but I do have brain left, and I've decided to use it. Hope this reaches nice amount of audience or a person who is famous enough to put this into shine. I might not make a difference, but this is me putting my effort in. Forgive and forget. Peace.